I don't know, the Chase Elliott interview was pretty unexpected, and it's kind of annoying because nobody cares. Everyone just wants to know starting lineup of our race.
This is very exciting, guys. I'm so excited to be back with you guys, commentating here for the NASCAR Amino Network, and as well as the beautiful peeps that have joined us here today. It looks like we got Marty Dallas, we got Noah Wetzel here, Warrior Cats fan, Michael Reed, Seth Peters, Pack, and Justin Newman as we're about to take the green.
Our Toyota Camry pace car will turn left onto the pit lane. Joey Logano will lead our first dual race into the Geico restart zone. Green flag is out here at Daytona. NASCAR season in 2024 is officially underway.
Energy is pretty equal between both lines right now. Usually it's the top two going back and forth between the inside and the outside line as we're back onto the backstretch here, nearly a sixth of the way through the first duel.
It's been an interesting first few laps of this race, but as the race continues to progress, there's going to be some play of aggression and strategy as this pack is seeming to placing each other in a spot where things might get interesting later on.
Thanks, guys, for tuning in. We'll go to our first music break of the evening. Send it over to Carter Jones with the tunes.
Let's play some Taylor Swift, Cruel Summer. Sorry, Swifties, we're going to cut it off there. We're back to Daytona. By the way, coverage is presented by Goodyear. More driven, that's their current slogan now. Let's send it to Tanner as we're down the backstretch.
We got an intense battle for the lead as Ricky Stenhouse Jr. has found a way to the front, but his lead might not even last for long as Corey LaJoie, with a push from Jimmy Johnson, is about to take the lead.
That outside lane had lost some manpower for a couple laps up there. Seems that it's gaining some more helpers up on that top lane as they're continuing to move back up towards the front of the field, now side by side with Martin Truex Jr.
Oh yeah, Stenhouse continuing to control both the lines here. Eric Jones there in second. Martin Truex still hanging tough there in third. His little Bass Pro Shops looking cutie patootie looking butt. And he's got Daniel Suarez behind him.
That Camry, that new Camry, the very flat front nose that I think will really help for tandem drafting. What do you guys think?
Yeah, I 100% agree. I think we saw it from Jimmy Johnson. He's looking really good. I like how his car's looking. It's very sporty, can be very aggressive. Whoa, Corey LaJoie just got shoved into the sucker hole in the middle of the track. 3 wide. He's going to fall back to 20th place, most likely.
Huge mistake by Corey LaJoie as Ricky Stenhouse Jr. outplayed him and put him in the middle, and that 7 car is in no man's land as no one wants to help that 7 car. That just slowly falls back further and further down the order, but there's still plenty of time of recovering, but he'll have to figure out very quickly.
Larson giving a big tush push to Martin Truex Jr. right now.
I don't know if the tush push is a good thing to do at Daytona International Speedway, but Kyle Larson clearly does not care, but neither does Eric Jones, who continues to give great pushes to Ricky Stenhouse Jr. on the bottom line.
Damn, what a good song by Luke Combs, man. He really popped off with the lyric writing on that one. We're back to Daytona. This is a montage of Jimmy Johnson, Chase Elliott, Joey Logano, all the Duel 1 drivers, it appears. And that's Chad Canals with Alex Bowman giving him the details he needs to win the Daytona 500, perhaps. Let's send it to Justin Ricci. Justin Ricci is currently dead, so I'll take over temporarily.
2 of the Toyotas ended up getting ahead of the 84 in the 19 as they might be preparing to pit soon, not from long from now. And here we go.
Oh, big contact now, and a big save by Tyler Reddick. Austin Dillon making contact with the car on the outside lane. They keep those cars pointed in the same direction. We got 4 takers on pit road. They're all Toyotas. Jimmy Johnson, Tyler Reddick, Ty Gibbs. Chevrolets are staying out once more. I wonder what their strategy is here. If they really think they're fast in this Toyota to try to build that gap before coming in now. Truex obviously on Toyota out here. Todd Gilliland up here holding his own with the Chevys.
Here's a replay. Tyler Reddick got bumped by Truex, and then Dillon somehow doesn't wreck his car as he slams into the side of Todd Gilliland. Man, just look at this, Tanner. It's insane.
Tyler Reddick is one hell of a wheelman, and moves like that shows his raw talent as a driver. And I think Todd Gilliland ended up hitting the wall because of Austin Dillon, but it doesn't seem like it really phased the 38 that much.
Time for another music session with Carter Jones.
Oh, yeah, we love our music sessions. This one's going to be a It'd be a fun one. This dude actually just performed at the Super Bowl, but did not perform this song. They're very sad. So we're going to be the ones that perform it for you via Spotify.
Crash, turn 4.
Oh, no!
Oh!
Austin Dillon and Jimmy Johnson involved in an incident off of turn 4 here at Daytona National Speedway. Big right front fender damage to the open car of the 84 Jimmy Johnson. Austin Dillon seems to be stalled on the apron. Caution's out with 10 to go.
And I still don't see anything on the screen. I apologize to those NASCAR Network
big damage
viewers.
to the 31. Sorry to cut in there, Carter.
Oh, you're good. Oh, here's the replay. All right, so let's see. Very unfortunate if Jimmy Johnson. Let's see the damage here, though. Let's just see what all happened here. The 31 of Hemrick getting up to the bumper of the 7. They're going 4 wide. Checks up big time. These guys just, oh, yeah, overcorrection. It's hard to save these cars with the rack and pinion steering that they have. Jimmy trying to save it. Does he avoid damage? It's very critical he keeps that car undamaged, considering he is an open car going against J.J. Yaley here tonight.
I'm going to be honest. It was like an accordion effect because Bowman was stuck in the middle, and when Carson Hocevar made that move on Bowman, it just stalled out both those lines and ended up causing Hemrick to check up and ultimately got punted from behind and ended up in the wall, damaging the 31.
Oh yeah, digging the Dancing Queen, boys. We're back with coverage. In case you didn't know this, which you do, so I don't know why we have to say this, 2024 Daytona 500 is on Sunday. That's pretty cool. Let's send it back to Justin.
Thank you, Carter. Thank you for that wonderful music break and that fantastic song we had playing now. Your race leader now with 8 laps to go under caution at the Daytona International Speedway. HenderCars.com 5 Chevrolet Camaro of Kyle Larson.
Oh yeah, look at these lines of cars going back and forth, kind of just having those little swerves, those little slithers, kind of like a couple of snakes going down the highway trying to cross the road, you know? Just hiss, hiss, you know, whatever sound a freaking snake makes. Wow, we almost had a crash there, Tanner. Holy moly.
Oh my God, they are shoving like hell into each other as the outside line just had a huge checkup, and it's going to allow Suarez to get back to the front fully by a car lead, but Larson's fighting back on the outside. Both lines are pretty even again.
Here we go on the outside, Kyle Larson, but he's got a big gap to his Hendrick teammate in the 9. That's not going to work out for him. Now we have a little bit of a pack separation now, as about half this pack has been dislocated and is now single file. Jimmy Johnson struggling to keep the draft now side by side with the 38.
Yeah, he's right there with his open contender, J.J. Yaley. You see him try to join back in this line, and it looks like he may have made contact with J.J. Yaley. That's insane!
Oh no, Ross Chastain ended up slowing down the 44's momentum as Johnson barely gets ahead, and now he has cleared the 44 for that final transfer spot into the Daytona 500, but it's pretty even between those two as the laps continue to wind down.
Who wins this duel race who makes the 500 seems to be dictated by which line goes the quickest. The bottom and Jimmy Johnson makes the show. The top and J.J. Yaley, but these two are right up next to each other, trying to claim one of those last spots in the Great American Race. Green-white checkered now.
Here we are once again through turns 1 and 2. This will be the second to last time these guys go through this corner in duel number 1. Down the back yet again. Very vulnerable to the pushing right here. Things get really wild and really wacky as they try to just push, push, push.
Both lines are still side by side, and both lines don't want to clear each other as both Suarez and Larson are side by side, but Johnson has now cleared the 44 fully, and now he has that full transfer spot as the field heads towards the white flag.
A big mid-corner push from the 54 onto the 99. Off of turn 4 now. Kyle Larson. We'll see the white flag presented by Credit One Bank in Blue Green's Vacation Duel number 1 at Daytona. Big run on that outside, followed by Chase Elliott, Carson Hocevar, Tyler Reddick, and Alex Bowman.
Jimmy Johnson is plotting how to get around this 44. Will he try to pull out last second if nothing opens up for him and try to side draft the 44? We'll have to see what move he makes. But up front, Kyle Larson being pushed by Tyler Reddick and Alex Bowman behind him. Here comes Tyler Reddick jumping in front of Chase Elliott.
Reddick's going to make the move on the bottom. He's going to clear the 5. He might take the lead, but the battle for the transfer spot's up for grabs. Larson up the racetrack as they're coming the checkered flag.
An uncontrolled push by his teammate Alex Bowman moves Larson up to the top side. Tyler Reddick in the Toyota, leading the 9 of Chase Elliott. Come to the line, it's going to be the 45 of Tyler Reddick winning duel number 1 as they get loose towards the line. And it will be the 84 of Jimmy Johnson advancing to race in the Great American Race.
The 45 jumping to that inside line and making that big boy move. Oh my God, I predicted Tyler Reddick would win a duel. Oh my God, that's huge! Let's go! Sorry. Here is the replay of Jimmy Johnson filling that hole as JJ Yaley gets shuffled up. Yaley tries to crowd Johnson, nearly turns him around, can't do it. Johnson locks himself into the Daytona 500 as he should.
A big mistake by Yaley on that final lap. He thought that run on the high line would have worked, but it just didn't, as no one was on the outside to help him. And that mistake ended up helping Jimmy Johnson make the 500 instead of him, as Reddick is on the front stretch celebrating by himself with his gloves and helmet off.
Pace car makes a hard left. The front row of Fords, Austin Cindric and Michael McDowell, make their way into the Geico restart zone. We're green for the second time tonight. And Blue-Green's Vacations duel number 2 at Daytona. A big jump to the bottom from the 34, Michael McDowell. Those Fords looking to work together on the bottom. William Byron in tow. Here's Byron now leading this race. McDowell falling to third in line on the inside. The Fords getting shuffled out, but not for Riley Herbst and Noah Gragson leading that outside lane. Byron still got his Chevy teammate Kyle Busch right behind him.
And we're going to commercial, at least on my end, right? Yeah. All right.
Yes,
Yeah.
sir.
So we got some good jams coming your way. We'll continue the theme from Duel 1, where in commercial breaks we play some jams in the commercial. So this one goes out to a particular mom that's really sexy. God, what a freaking good song that is. Am I right or am I right? Well, we're back at Daytona for the Blue-Green Vacations Duels. It is duel number 2. Your coverage is brought to you by Goodyear. More driven. Here we are entering turn number 1. It is Riley Herbst. I talked about him. I praised him. He is good in the Cup cars at these super speedways. He loves this draft package. He loves how this car drives on these types of tracks. And man, it's showing here today with how strong he is, being pushed by Gragson. And here comes Allmendinger to the bottom. We'll send it to Tanner.
AJ just made a huge move in front of his Chevy teammates, which now gives Chevy a small advantage. And I think AJ might be going for the lead right here, as they're side-by-side with Riley Herbst and AJ Allmendinger, but both lines are pretty even heading down the tri-oval. We need some cover as Fireball is missing.
He forgot to unmute again, I think. So here we are, entering turn 1. Riley Herbst continue to try to fend off the lead.
Riding together, hoping for something to happen as this race continues on. Bro might be dead.
No, I'm giving it to Carter.
OMP. Bubba Wallace leading the charge still. Back to Tanner.
We are having some confusion right now.
Now, let's pay attention here as they enter the backstretch. Will there be hands going out those window nets to signal that they are coming to pit road? Looking. Unless I'm blind, I don't see any.
I haven't seen anything from anybody right now, but it seems like the train is just continuing to roll, but BJ's trying to still bring the fight on the outside.
Usually what seemed to be the indicator in Duel 1 was the single file lane forming on the top line and seeing that unity. We're seeing anything but that. I think that top line is getting stronger and stronger, pointing towards double file racing instead of pitting here.
Yeah, you see the replay from Duel 1 I just mentioned. It's like you think they would have learned from this moment right here. Why are they not taking the time to organize this? They are still double file. It's just baffling to me. But still no hands out the window from what I see. So maybe they have another couple laps before they're actually planning on coming down. Hamlin back there in 16th. Am I seeing hands? I don't think so. They're really pushing it a little longer than I expected. We got people on Fox reporting, Regan Smith, Larry Mack, they're panicking because they think they're going to wreck again. Is that a hand? They're zooming in towards those window nets. There might have been hands there. This might be the lap.
There was hands out the window. Bubba Wallace just had his hand out the window, I think. He might be coming pit road this time. He might be bringing a lot of cars with him. Will he do it? We'll have to see.
Here we go. We got some takers on pit road. We got 2 Toyotas coming in. A mixed bag of manufacturers. Christopher Bell, Bubba Wallace as well. We got a bunch of Chevys, too. We got Kyle Busch. We got William Byron. We got a Toyota, too. John Nemechek, BJ McLeod.
Entering turn 1. Oh, Gralla. How is that not a commitment line violation? Okay. Well, anyway, we're entering turn 2 here, and we're going to see how things cycle out here, Tanner.
I don't know if anyone has brought this up, but Denny Hamlin is in the top 10. It might be going for second place right now. He is following Michael McDowell down the back straightaway as Michael McDowell is going to take the lead, but the Super Speedway master himself has now found a way to the front.
We still have 14 laps to go, and speaking of patience, William Byron has none of it.
Oh!
A big block on Ryan Blaney. And around by the 24, a big hit through the tri-oval. It's the big one, gang, at Daytona. Multiple cars involved in this dual race. The 12 of Ryan Blaney on fire. About a dozen cars collected in this big accident after a huge hit from William Byron and Ryan Blaney. A big fire under the hood of the 12 car.
Oh my God, a huge fire for Blaney. Thankfully, he's okay, and hopefully everyone else is too. From first glance, it all happened so fast, but it looked like Byron got sideways, potentially from a bump with someone else, and that looked so identical. Ryan Blaney getting hooked into that outside wall last time we were at Daytona in August, and such unfortunate bad luck for the reigning champion.
It's good to know that he climbed out of that race car, because that was one hell of a shot as Riley Herbst is climbing out of his car, so his night is over as well. But crazy, speaking of crazy, BJ McLeod was caught up in the wreck. He has some right front damage, and so does Justin Haley. But BJ McLeod's Daytona 500 hopes might be in serious jeopardy because he was caught up in that big wreck alone.
Gang, I tell you, it's hard to find a car in this pack without any damage from that wreck. Here's David Reagan, who seems to have gotten away unscathed here. But, wow, a lot of big cars. Noah Gragson climbs out. His day is done after a great showing. Ryan Blaney up in smokes now. He's been. Byron, after a strong showing, making the final round of qualifying. His day is done. Kyle Busch, for the second year in a row with Richard Childress Racing, will crash out of his dual race as he gets into the Advent Health Ambulance. Take a look at the replay, Carter.
It's definitely the biggest crash in the duels we've seen in several years, unless I'm forgetting one. That has to be one of the biggest ones we've had in recent memory. As it was going through the tri-oval, it looks like things were getting dicey. We saw Cindric pulling out to make moves. Byron went there to block. And then it was a big shove, Keselowski into Kyle Busch, into William Byron, and just like that, Ryan Blaney, identical, just at a different part of the track compared to August. And look at this, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. I think upwards of 10 to 11 cars are involved in this one. And as Tanner brought up, very smart by David Reagan, if that was intentional, to get out of that mess.
What you see there causing that accident is the accordion effect. The checkup from the 24 and the 8. The 6 isn't able to check up in time, get to the back of the 8, or gets to the back of the 24, William Byron hard. It really stacks them up. That's millions of dollars in damage right there that you're seeing on our screen of wrecked race cars, just trying to get their spots sorted for the Great American Race.
We're taking another look at this replay here. They circled Keselowski, and why did they circle Keselowski? Because he was kind of being dumb. He was pushing Kyle Busch without realizing William Byron is right there, even though that Keselowski's a half a car length under Kyle, where he could have seen he's being pushed right into the 24's ass. But sorry for that language. But, you know, interesting choice there by Keselowski to be that aggressive with the bumper of Kyle Busch. And you can see Kyle Busch is not impressed.
You know, I remember the wise words of the driver of that 6 car from not too long ago. I believe the year was 2019. Please do correct me if I'm wrong. Where he said that he is not lifting. He is not lifting. Brad Keselowski surely did not lift in this incident, and we see the aftermath of that. Green flag is back in the air. Michael McDowell leading the field to green with 8 laps to go. Denny Hamlin on the bottom getting massive shoves from his teammate Christopher Bell in the 20.
Don't expect these guys to be any less aggressive, especially with some of this tandem pushing, trying to get that lead. Somehow, some way, those 4 cars on the inside were masterfully together, nose to bumper, enough to push Denny Hamlin off this lead. But look at this move. Oh, wow. Big move by McDowell. I don't think he meant to even do that. He might have gotten pushed to that outside.
Huge mistake by Denny Hamlin to let go of his teammate. Now it ultimately pays the price as Michael McDowell and Austin Cindric regain the top 2 spots after being in the midfield throughout most of this race.
But watch the bottom. Hamlin and Bell with a run. Hunter Nemechek not able to stick with them, so that run's going to die down. But those 4 Fords in a row on that top line working together masterfully as we hit 7 laps to go.
When he's out front, he can control this race from start to finish.
Huge block from Denny leads to a big stack up on that outside and almost an accident. McDowell is getting shuffled back. Bell's taking lead of the race. Here comes John Hunter Nemechek on the bottom of the racetrack.
A very stupid block by Denny Hamlin is going to screw McDowell out of that top lane right there. He's going to fall back, but that's perfectly okay for him. He has that locked front row spot. Let's take a look at that replay. Very late block. Not a good move by Denny Hamlin. He is lucky he didn't get himself or other people wrecked there.
Oh, he is very, very lucky he did not cause another big one. But even then, that is a rare mistake by a super speedway master like Denny Hamlin. He should have just waited for that opportunity to get by Michael McDowell later on. But putting that block has really screwed Michael McDowell and himself over as Bell's just doing his best lead in this race.
Hamlin struggling to pull Bell up to him. He's leading that top line of Fords.
Yes, he is. Cindric and Keselowski behind Hamlin. Now, Keselowski being the 3rd car in line is kind of scary, considering that last time he had 2 cars in front of him, it didn't end well. We'll have to see how that transpires. Grolla may have gotten shuffled out. Now they're going to make 3 lines here down the back stretch.
Oh, no. They are getting intense up front. There are 3 grooves on the racetrack, but it's helping Denny Hamlin and Christopher Bell get away with John Hunter Nemechek in tow. The Toyotas have taken advantage of this race.
Almost 4 wide down the back straightaway into turn 3, but there is a single file line letting Denny Hamlin pull away and string out this field. 2 laps to go. Denny Hamlin, Christopher Bell, John Hunter Nemechek, Zane Smith, and Harrison Burton.
Now, with the consequences of that, what's that going to do for the Toyotas? Will they stay loyal with Denny Hamlin and push him to the victory? Or will they try to make a move on him on this white flag lap coming up? You also got Zane Smith, kind of a wild card there as of Chevy there. And Byron, after being involved in that accident, is 6th place.
The battle for the transfer spot is heating up as BJ McLeod and Kaz Gralla are going to duke it out side by side, heading towards the white flag. But it's going to come down to the wire once again for both of those 2 drivers.
Single file now as Denny Hamlin leads him to it. Cindric trying to form a top line. White flag in the air presented by Credit One Bank. Burton to the top. Zane Smith looking high. Big push from Austin Cindric getting him by that 71. They're to 3rd now.
Burton with that big push. Blocking now with a big move is Christopher Bell. Can he manage that momentum? Here he comes, Hamlin with an attempt to block. But he's going to be shafted by the 20. The 20 of Christopher Bell to the outside. The 21 with a massive push by Austin Cindric into 3.
Bell just perfectly did the same thing as Reddick, but here comes Cindric by Harrison Burton. Just a second, but can Cindric get a shot at him?
3 by 3, Cindric looks high. Cindric looks low. Blocked by Bell, it won't be enough. Christopher Bell wins duel number 2 at Daytona. 3 wide to the line in the back. And it will be Kaz Gralla making the Daytona 500 and BJ McLeod.
Wow.